It's so easy every day, living in Lubbock, the one and only LBK.
'Cause we got rock and roll, we got the blues, we can honky tonk in our cowboy boots.
And through the dust in the rearview mirror, you can see our rhythm and roots. And through the dust in the rearview mirror, you can see our rhythm and roots. Welcome to another episode of Rhythm and Roots Podcast, Lubbock's podcast for musicians by musicians, where we focus on local, regional, and state talent and the venues that support them. I'm your host, Jason Robertson. This is my co-host, Rhonda Taylor.
Hello there, Jason. Hello there, everybody.
We are at Taco Village today, a staple for local and live music. Lily and Loopy have been hosting live music for a lot of years, and one of our guests today is a regular out here. We have Don Holladay with us today.
Hi, Don. Welcome.
Here. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love that tailored guitar you got. It's backwards. Do you know that?
Backward, yeah. I've heard that. Yeah.
I wouldn't even have noticed that.
Yeah, I've heard that it is. Of course, I think everybody else plays a guitar backwards. You know,
There you go. Yeah.
So, Don, you're a local singer-songwriter.
I am, yeah.
We see you play all around town.
Every chance we get.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about how you got your start in music and kind of where you originated from.
Well, I was born and raised in Hobbs, New Mexico, and just on the edge of the state line. And my best friend Don London and I, who lived 3 houses down, we basically started playing guitars together junior high. This was in the 60s, and of course it was in the 60s. And we started playing, and we went through, you know, dance bands in high school, and the two of us kept playing and working together. And we went, as you can imagine, we went through 3 or 4 different bass players and 7 different drummers, you know. But Don and I stayed together and played, and we'd play rock and roll dances on Friday night, and then we had a little folk music show with local TV, where it would broadcast out like a few hundred yards out of the radio station, you know, the TV station, you know. And we'd play for that on Saturday morning. And then we'd play in church with a church youth choir on Sunday morning. And so we had, and of course in those days when you listen to the radio, you'd hear Top 40 and you'd hear Aretha Franklin, you'd hear Motown, you'd hear Dylan, you'd hear folk songs, you'd hear English, the British invasion, everything was mixed up. So I sort of developed a very eclectic kind of taste in music. But it's really based on folk music. It's kind of what I do. And we call it Americana. And so some original songwriting, but mostly just cover songs that I found that I love, that I want to share with other people, you know.
Were you writing songs back then when you were in junior high as well?
No. Don wrote a few songs. My friend Don London, who went on to have a music career in Nashville, he wrote a few songs, but mostly we just did, you know, The Who on for I Can See for Miles and Miles, or Rolling Stones songs, you know, or whatever. We wouldn't do the Beatles songs because the Beatles are too hard, you know. So they got too many chords in them.
Too many chords in them.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, that's how I got started. Then I put it away, you know, basically for many, many years and decades. And had a professional career as a pastor, and then also as a professor at a small college in New Mexico. But I came back to it when I moved to Lubbock about 12 years ago.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, do you want to kick off the show here with the song?
Oh, okay. Let me do one of my favorite cover songs, which is again. Song that's by Hayes Carl, and I just love doing this song. It's called Beaumont.
All right.
We're Hayes Carl's fans.
Yeah.
Saw you leaning on on memory, with your back turned to the crowd, in that little bar on Murphy where they play guitar too loud. There were people drinking whiskey, there were hearts about to leave. It was cold as hell for Houston, it was almost New Year's Eve. All the way from Beaumont with a white rose in my hand, I couldn't wait forever, babe, I hope you'll understand. Well, the night was feeling lucky. I asked you to dance, and the way you looked up at me made me think I had a chance. When I put my arms around you, I knew you weren't giving in, and I hope it would be different if I pass this way again. All the way from Beaumont with a white rose in my hand, I couldn't wait forever, babe, I hope you'll understand. Well, I walked the road to get here with a guitar and a case. I'd have stayed in Pasadena if I'd known about this place. But you look like forever, where the water meets the shore. I've been thinking about you, baby, I can't do that anymore. Saw you leaning on memory, with your back turned to the crowd, in that little bar on Murphy where they play guitar too loud. There were people drinking whiskey, there were hearts about to leave. It was cold as hell for Houston, it was almost New Year's Eve. All the way from Beaumont with a white rose in my hand, I couldn't wait forever, babe, I hope you'll understand. All the way from Beaumont with a white rose in my hand, I couldn't wait forever, babe, I hope you'll understand. Hope you'll understand. Beaumont.
Man, Hayes
Nice.
Carl is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, weren't we just listening to
We
a
were
song of his that we were
last night
thinking?
at our show last night at the Silver Bullet. Somebody played a different Hayes Carl song,
Yeah.
and it was actually one he wrote with. Anyway, long story
Yeah.
short,
Yeah,
we're
we-
talking about Don Holladay.
Good choice.
Today, not Hayes Carl, but man, I'm fascinated with this guitar playing because you've got a right-handed guitar, strong right-handed, but playing left-handed. I'm sitting here watching you, and it's exactly opposite of the way I play, and it's amazing to watch.
Well, yeah, of course I couldn't play it any other way after playing it this way. People ask me how I got started doing that, and really I was probably, it was a small town in New Mexico. I was one of the first generation of guitar players, and there wasn't anybody to give me lessons or anything. And so I just went and bought a guitar. It was an $80 Supro electric guitar, which I still have, by the way. And which, by the way, the only thing that Jimi Hendrix and I have in common is his first guitar that his dad bought for him was a Supro guitar, electric guitar. But anyway, and I just got a guitar and a chord book. And my friend Don London and I started listening to songs. And of course, in those days, you'd hear a song on the radio and it would have 3 chords, And so you go home and learn it,
So did you
It'd take
flip
you 10
the
minutes.
chord book upside down to learn it?
Yeah, right. I turn the chord book upside down.
Yeah.
Of course, I read it as the way it looks here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And other people read it the way it looks here. Kurt Melly and I I play with, we keep talking about, well, one day right in the middle of a song, we're just going to flip guitars over and change guitars, you know. See what people do, see people freak out.
That would be cool. That would be a great kid.
Let's talk about that. You play with Kurt Melly.
Yes.
So tell us about who you're playing with now, kind of your house gigs. I know you've got a house gig over at Pub 50. So talk
I play
to
at
us
the
about
Pub
that.
50 every Wednesday from 6 to 8 over it's a wonderful music bar. And it's and the people are, they like the old school music because they're old school themselves. And
one of our favorite places too, no doubt about it.
it's
we
just
do
a
know.
great,
It's
it's a great live music bar.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that little bar that Hayes Carl was talking about, you know, the little bar on Avenue Q where they play guitar too loud.
That's
you know?
exactly
That's
right, man.
Yeah, that's where we want to hang out. And Kurt and I are called the Provincials, and we play at restaurants all the time. We play here at Me Taco Village once a month, and we love to play here. And my phone I forgot to turn my phone
Oh, yeah, we
off.
forgot to turn
Oh,
the
man.
phone off.
That was the first thing. First thing you should have told me is turn the phone off.
okay. They only told us like 3 times, Don. No big
Yeah,
deal.
that happens all the time. But anyway, and we play at Triple J every chance we get. We play at Bigham Smokehouse out of Milwaukee once a month. Play at other restaurants, English Newsome Cellars. We play at a Cotton Court down on Avenue Q.
You're playing all over.
Yeah, we're
You post
playing
all
a
of this
lot.
online?
Yeah,
for people
we
to find?
do. Try to put them on Facebook, put them on I Love Lubbock Music on Facebook, and then on my page, which is Donald Holladay
That's
on
right, you had
Facebook.
to change it to Donald,
Yeah, I had
yeah.
to change it. Yeah,
Donald.
so
You know,
I can't.
we're so lucky, I think, as musicians in Lubbock to have such support.
Yeah,
you know, I
that's
mean,
true.
This venue
That's true.
and pub and all
Yeah.
the venues that have live music,
Right.
they're amazing support.
Right.
But also the social media platforms that have
Right.
popped up, like you mentioned, I Love
Yeah.
Lubbock Music,
Right.
Lubbock Musicians. I mean, there's a lot of different ways for
Yeah.
us to have exposure.
Yeah.
You know, for our gigs,
Sure.
and our music, and it's great.
Right.
to
And the
have that.
camaraderie between all of
Oh,
us.
yeah.
And we
Right.
tell each other about
Right,
things, and we
right.
offer each other things.
Right,
and,
that's
yeah.
right.
It's
Yeah,
just lovely.
we're a team, and for the most part, the venue owners are very, very supportive of live music and realize that
Absolutely.
that we should get paid. Sometimes they can't pay us a whole lot.
Well, and that's one thing I was going to say.
Yeah.
Venues, please pay more.
Yeah, right. Please start immediately. Yeah, as soon as you can. No, really, that's
No, it's great support.
Right.
We feel the same way.
Yeah.
You know, I know Rhonda and I play at the pub weekly
Yeah.
as you do, and
Right.
it's one of those special places like Taco Village where the patrons love music. I mean,
Right.
they are there to
Right.
hear the music. 90% of
Yeah.
them come for the music.
right.
And
And
it's-
if it wasn't for people like Loopy and Lily and who also are music fans, and you can just look at the
Yep.
walls.
And been
They're-
around here
right,
forever.
right.
Just-
Yeah. How about you pick us another one on that guitar?
Okay, let me do one of my. I can talk to you about in a minute, maybe if it's okay. I could talk to you about my little CD that I
Yeah,
put out
you're-
with some
I
original
like to call
songs.
them albums still, but yeah.
Yeah, there you
Talk
go.
about your album.
Let me do one of my songs. This is called Cardboard Heart. It's about the big city of Valentine, Texas. Blink and you'll miss Valentine, a post office and a bar. If you see the lights of Marfa, you've probably gone too far. A few adobe houses, a church with a big red door, an old abandoned schoolhouse built by the workers' corps. Jamie works a mallard ranch. He rides fences for the strays, rides from dawn to night, earns his money every day. Tries to make it back to town before the sun is gone. See Molly down at Loopy's if the coffee pot's still on. I don't know if they knew the cost, there wasn't much at stake. Their love is like a cardboard heart, too old for a wedding cake. James and Molly took a midweek drive across the Mesquite and Pine. They chased the moon to Pecos, no money but lots of time. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, he said. He bought a card at the dollar store. Well, hell, let's get married like the old song says. What's forever for? Those two had been around the block, traveling north to south. Their past was long and their time was short, and they knew what life's about. They met the judge at the courthouse door. She'd be glad to give him time. She smiled and put on her best coat for the folks from Valentine. I don't know if they knew the cost, there wasn't much at stake. They flew their dreams on broken wings, too old for a wedding cake. Where the flower came from, no one knows. Was it a carnation or a rose? They gave a kiss and he signed the book, and then he said, it's time to go. They walked into the sunlit day, and it warmed them for some time. And as they caught the fading rays, the whole world was Valentine. Love is like a cardboard heart you give on Valentine's Day. It's not like the first kiss, it's how you treat it along the way. If you put it in a shoebox, take it out from time to time. Remember the vow you made that day when the world was Valentine. I don't know if they knew the cost, there wasn't much at stake. Their love is like a cardboard heart, too old for a wedding cake. I don't know if they knew the cost, there wasn't much at stake. Their love is like a cardboard heart, too old for a wedding cake. Cardboard heart.
Very nice.
About Valentine, Texas.
What made you write a song about Valentine, Texas? Did you know I was going to ask that?
No, that's a really good question. I told you that I was a pastor.
Yes.
Years and years ago, I was the pastor of the Methodist Church, like a long time ago, 40 years ago, more than 40 years ago. I was a pastor of the Methodist Church in Fort Davis, Texas.
You don't look old. First of all, you don't look old enough to have been a pastor 40 years ago.
40 years ago. And it just so happened that it was Valentine's Day, and this tiny little Methodist church where I was the pastor is right next door. I lived right next door. And it was Valentine's Day, and this couple showed up on my doorstep. And I mean, I'd been to seminary, so they said, well, you don't marry people just off the street, you send them to counseling and try to warn them off, And anyway, you talk to them about it. But this older couple, they looked like they'd, been ridden hard and put up wet, They said, we want to get married on Valentine's Day. And we're from Valentine, Texas. We want to get married on Valentine's Day. So I said, well, by golly, let's do it. So we walked, it was like 10 steps over to the church. So I married him. So I just thought that was, that's always stuck with me.
And you wrote it like how many years later?
Oh, about 41 years later.
That's
But
wow.
that memory is just always, if anybody shows up at your doorstep from Valentine, Texas on Valentine's Day, whatever they want, just do it.
they're gonna get it.
Right.
And they're not even alive anymore to know it, are they?
Probably not.
So let's talk about this album that you've got. Did you bring a copy of it with you?
Yeah, I've got one copy.
I want to look at that. So I've actually heard this album because one of my friends is one of the studio musicians.
Yes, Owen Franklin.
Yeah, Owen Franklin. So
I will.
We heard it before it came out.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, it's an EP. It's got 5 original songs on it. It came out almost a year ago. I worked with Alan Crossland at Route 1 Acuff Studio in Acuff, Texas, which is...
How was that, man?
Oh, man, Alan is fantastic.
Everybody I've talked to that's done some studio time out there loves the studio.
Now, you have to push back on Alan sometime. You have to remind him who's paying the studio time, but because he's got so much of a music memory that he wants to say, well, we could do this. And I say, yeah, you could do that, but let's try this, And I mean, but he's more than cooperative.
Well, it turned out great. I mean, what I've heard from it is really, really good.
Well, I got only the best musicians in town. Sean Frankhauser plays bass on all five songs. Owen Franklin plays guitar on 3 songs. And I got Gypsy Jane to sing harmony on one song, and I wish I'd done more, but we were down to the wire, and we needed to get it finished by the first of the year. So, we got Gypsy Jane on. Isn't that great?
Yeah, he's got a train
where that
on
is?
there. Yeah, I do know where that is. I drive that road all the time.
That's right. Going down into East Lubbock.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. Can we hear? Can we hear one off the album?
Of course. Yeah, that one. Cardboard Heart is one.
Can we hear Movie Monsters?
Oh, sure. Yeah, Movie Monsters. That's what Sarah said. Do Movie Monsters. So. Of course. And I could tell you a little bit of a story about this song, and real quickly. You know, COVID. These were all written during COVID, basically. But I was watching old movies during COVID, like everybody else, and I started watching these old monster movies. You know, the Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera, all those, and I got to kind of thinking about them, and I realized that the monsters were the heroes of the movies, of those old movies. It wasn't the person that was trying to destroy the monster, but the monsters were they were just trying to connect with people. They just wanted to be a part of things. And really they wanted to be loved.
Sounds like a musician's life.
Yeah. And then I thought, well, that's like all of us, you know?
Absolutely.
We're all just feel like we're monsters, and we feel like we're outside, and we just want to be a part of things. But so I wrote that about how we're a lot like the movie Monsters, I guess.
Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. Remember movie monsters, so many you could name. Frankenstein, the Mummy, and the Hunchback of Notre Dame. What was the attraction that drove those ticket sales? What if we could see ourselves as well? They all had their secrets, so many you could give. When they came into the light, they would not let them live. Fought through death and darkness, and it caused their hearts to break. They would give all up for goodness sake. I heard about the actor who would only play those parts. He wants to show the greatness of their heart. He died there in the final reel, down in some shadowed grave. He died so their illusions would be saved. Wait and watch and listen, and the story will come clear. The monster has a heart of gold, he holds his loved ones near. Lives out in the shadows, a lot like you and me. Break the chains and set the monster free. Remember movie monsters, so many you could name. Phantom of the Opera and the Hunchback of Notre Dame. What was the attraction that drove those ticket sales? What if we could see ourselves as well? All right, movie monsters.
Yeah.
Very, very
Good
nice,
deal.
man.
Like how that just ends. Boom.
Yeah,
I like
it
that.
just ends. Yeah.
Is this the first EP or?
Yes.
I don't even know what EP stands
First.
for. Again, I'm gonna call it album.
Extended play. Yeah.
Okay.
Extended play. Yeah. And I don't call it a CD because usually CDs have 10 songs, but
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, it's first and only, probably. I mean, I actually went on a retreat to Alpine, Texas for the month of January, thinking maybe I'll get started writing songs again. But writing songs is really hard work. It's hard work. I mean, it really
it kind of does
is.
seem like it either
can
just comes to you or you're just struggling to think of something.
Yeah. And I've tried to. I've done a little bit, but that was like the first thing. I had a CD release party about a year ago, and Kurt and I played, and both my sisters came in, and my family, both my
nice.
kids, and my sister. I mean, we were leaving, and she said, "That's great. When is your next one coming out?" You know,
Just came in satisfied.
They expect you to do more, Don. So see,
What's
now
that?
you do one, and they expect you to do more.
Yeah, that's right. And
Well-
we've heard about the sophomore slump. You know, the second album is sometimes doesn't live up to the expectations.
Oh yeah, that you don't even need to worry about all of that.
But I hope to write some more. Yeah,
You probably will then.
yeah, I think so.
What would you tell somebody younger that's trying to do what you are doing?
Well, I would say advice was given to me, and when you're starting out, play anywhere and everywhere. Just if they want you to play at the donut shop outside for their second anniversary, if they want you to sit out front and they can't pay you, just play there. Play anywhere and everywhere once you get started. And then once you get started, you can start being paid for it, because you don't want to undercut other musicians who are trying to make a living. And so you don't want to play for free, because you're really kind of hurting the market for other people.
Yeah.
But when you're starting out, just play anywhere and all the time, you know, as much as you can. Because I really only started playing professionally, like getting paid for it, probably 5 or 6 years ago. And it took me 2 or 3 years before that to get out and let people know that I was serious about.
Is that what you were doing? You were just going and doing
I mean,
whatever?
when I first moved here, of course, and you know, this is where I first met Rhonda, and you too, Jason, I'm sure. I'd go to the Sunday night jam almost every Sunday night, you know.
That's great advice to go to
and
the
then,
jams.
go to the jams, get to know the musicians. That's really
there's been
important.
a lot of musicians discovered at that jam.
Yeah,
that are
that's
now
true.
I mean, that's a
playing
world
with
famous
big
jam.
bands.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, that's a world-renowned opportunity for people who've, getting great people. But and that's the thing. As you mentioned, Rhonda, we're a community of musicians, and get to know the other musicians, and realize that you're all on the same team.
Yeah.
Because
when
really
when
are.
I first started, I was really intimidated by the talent. Because I wasn't as talented,
Right.
Especially on the instrument.
Right.
And it took
I'm
years
not.
for me
Yeah.
to figure out that really all musicians just love each other and they want to help everybody.
Right.
get better.
That's
Play
right.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's all about the music. But yeah, I just say and just shoe leather. Go out and go to venues and you'll go, and you guys know this experience. You go to a bar or a restaurant and they say, "Well, the manager's not here." "Well, I'll come back in a couple of days." "Well, we have a new manager than was here 2 days ago, but she's not here, so come back next week." And then you come back next week. "Well, the manager's here." "Well, we don't do live music; we do karaoke." And and you don't get discouraged,
Sure.
because
Just keep
finally you just. It took us years to get into Triple J. That's like our favorite place to play.
I know.
We love Triple J, and everybody loves to play there. And they have so many people that we only get in 4 or 5 times a year. But it took us years to get in there.
Yeah.
You just have to be
Keep at it.
persistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
Don, we've got
that's
time for
important.
one more song. Have you got one more in you
One
today?
more. Let's see. One more. I could do. Yeah, let me do something completely out in left field.
right on.
I'm left-handed, so I'm going to do something out in left field. This is one of my favorite folk musicians, songwriters. He actually wrote. His name is John Stewart, and not to say he's old or anything, but he used to be in the Kingston Trio. So, and he wrote that old monkey song, "Daydream Believer." A great songwriter. But I'm not going to do that song. I'm going to do a song that he wrote called "July, You're a Woman." July, You're a Woman. And I'm going to tune up for just 1 second here. And
While you're tuning up, Don, let's
Yeah.
talk about where we can find your music. So the album, is the EP, is it for sale anywhere? Or?
Yeah, well, no, just contact Donald Holladay on Facebook, Holladay, and we plug on I Love Lubbock Music on Facebook.
That's a great spot to put stuff.
Yeah, let me play this song. It's called July You're a Woman. I always have to make a disclaimer because I want to be careful. It's got a line in there. This song is not about drinking and driving. It's got a line in there that might make you think bad, but we don't want to just encourage that by any means.
We don't want to make Mothers Against Drunk Drivers mad today.
We don't want anybody leaving the Me Taco Village, but anyway. It's called July You're a Woman. John Stewart. Kind of going back to my folk roots here. I can't hold it on the road when you're sitting right beside me, and I'm drunk out of my mind, merely from the fact that you are here. And I have not been known as the saint of San Joaquin, but I'd just as soon right now pull on over to the side of the road, show you exactly what I mean. Na 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 na, na 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 na. July, you're a woman more than anyone I'll ever know. And let's see, next slide. And I can't keep my eyes on the white light out before me when your hand is on my collar and you're talking in my ear. And I have been around with a gypsy girl named Shannon, a daughter of the devil. It is strange that I should mention that to you. I haven't thought of her in years. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. July, you're a woman more than anyone I'll ever know. I can't hold it on the road when you're sitting right beside me, and I'm drunk out of my mind, merely from the fact that you are here. And I have not been known as the saint of San Joaquin, but I'd just as soon right now pull on over to the side of the road, show you exactly what I mean. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. July, you're a woman more than anyone I'll ever know. July, you're a woman. John Stewart.
Great. Nice, Don.
Right on,
That's
Don.
a sweet song. I love that song.
It is a good song.
Don, thanks again for your
Thanks
time
again.
today.
Thank
We
you
appreciate
guys so
coming
much.
on.
I'm honored
Yes.
to, and thanks to the crew. You guys did an awesome
Absolutely.
job.
And
Yeah.
thank you, Lily and
Great.
Loopy and Me Taco
Yep.
Village for
Oh
having
yeah,
us here
absolutely.
today.
Appreciate you guys.
Be looking for Don and Kurt's The Provincials bookings on
Yeah.
Don's Facebook and on I Love
Yeah.
Lubbock Music.
Yeah.
Be looking for Rhonda and I. We are the Hub City Radicals. We're on Facebook and we're playing all over town right now. Got some full band stuff. And
It's a super group.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
super group.
Check out
Best
Early
in
Modern.
town.
yeah, try to
Early
find
Modern.
that.
Early
That's
Modern.
right.
Contact
Early
Don if you
Modern
want a
is the
copy
name of
that.
Yeah.
This podcast will be aired on the city's TV channel, My LBK Connect, and on other social media platforms. So be looking for that. And we appreciate you tuning in to another episode, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you very
Thank you, Don.
much.
Thank
Have
you.
a great one.
Thank you so much.